Lily was just a poor cleaner trying to clock in on time. But one wave of dirty water changed her destiny. The rich woman who laughed at her had no clue what was coming her way that day. Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Please take a second to hit that subscribe button. It really helps us grow and bring you more stories like this. Drop a comment and tell us where you're watching from. We'd love to connect with you. Your support means a lot to us. Thank you. Someone powerful was watching. It was a misty, biting morning. The clouds were heavy and the road was still wet and muddy from the rain of last night. Lily, a young woman of only 22, walked cautiously along the curb, clutching a brown paper bag with her lunch and a pair of worn-out rubber boots. Her uniform was pressed but faded, and her sneakers had seen better days. Still, she walked with a determination. She couldn't afford to be late for her shift at the Apex Center. As she approached the intersection, she heard the aggressive sound of an engine. A neon yellow sports car was tearing down the street toward her. Before she could retreat to the grass, the low-profile tires slammed into a deep pothole. In a split second, a sheet of brown sludge coated her. Her face, her jacket, her lunch. Everything was dripping and ruined. The sports car didn't break. Instead, the tinted glass slid down just enough to reveal a glamorous woman, giggling. Her diamond earrings sparkled. "Maybe buy a car next time, sweetie," she screamed before speeding away. Lily stood frozen on the sidewalk. Her hands shook. Her skin stung from the cold muck. But she didn't shed a tear. She simply wiped her face, grabbed her soaked bag, and kept moving. Across the street, a dark gray sedan idled near the curb. Inside was a man named Jason, a silent spectator. He had witnessed the whole scene. The splash, the cruel laughter, and the quiet dignity on Lily's face. Jason's jaw tightened. He recognized the driver, Serena. She was notorious for her jewelry empire and her arrogance. But she didn't realize that today, her cruelty was noted by someone who despised bullies. He lifted his smartphone. "Get me a name on that girl," he said, his voice low. "I want the full background." Lily arrived at the Apex Center looking like she'd dragged herself out of a swamp. Her navy blue uniform was stiff with dried mud, her hair was matted, and her sneakers squelched on the marble floor. As she hurried through the service entrance, her manager, Mrs. Higgins, scowled. "Lily, you look dirty," she shrieked. Lily stared at the floor. "A car splashed dirty water on me, ma'am. I tried to clean it off, but I don't pay you for excuses," Mrs. Higgins snapped. "Get changed. The lobby needs to shine before the board members get here." Lily nodded and rushed to the locker room. Her colleagues side-eyed her. Some whispered, others looked away in embarrassment. But nobody offered a towel. Nobody helped. She changed into a spare, oversized uniform, pulled her hair into a tight bun, and started scrubbing as if the morning hadn't happened. But inside, Lily was crumbling. She thought of her little brother, Leo, back at their tiny studio apartment, waiting for her to come home with dinner money. She thought of the rent she was behind on. So she swallowed her pride and worked. Meanwhile, Jason sat in his penthouse office at the top of the tower. He wasn't just a tenant. He was the founder of Blackwood Capital, the owner of the building, and a man who preferred shadows to spotlights. His secretary placed a tablet on his desk. Her name is Lily Harper, age 22. Works double shifts here and at a diner. Lives in the East End, legal guardian to her 10-year-old brother. Parents died in a crash 3 years ago. Jason stared at the ID photo on the screen. Lily, looking tired but kind. He swiped the screen thoughtfully. "She didn't deserve that humiliation," he murmured. His secretary adjusted her glasses. "Shall I intervene, sir?" Jason looked out the window. "Yes, but let's wait. I want to see how she handles this." Serena Vance posed in front of a full-length mirror in her boutique downtown, fixing her silk scarf. Her phone pinged incessantly. Likes, comments, and adoration from her followers. She was the city's girl, daughter of a tech tycoon. She smirked at her reflection, feeling invincible. "That peasant was practically standing in the street," she laughed, taking a sip of her iced latte. "She's lucky I didn't ruin my tires." Her stylist, Marco, forced a laugh. "Totally, Serena." She never gave it a second thought. She believed the world was divided into predators and prey, and she was the apex predator. But downstairs, Lily's day was grueling. Every time she bent to empty a trash can, her muscles screamed. Yet she kept her head high and hummed a melody to keep calm. Just survive today. Just get to 5 p.m. Around lunchtime, she went to the loading dock to eat her meager meal, an apple and a granola bar. She sat on a shipping pallet, her hands shaking as she ate. Then a man walked past the loading bay and paused. It was Jason, dressed down in a hoodie and a beanie. He pretended to be tying his shoe, but he was watching her. He saw how she broke the granola bar in half, wrapping one piece back up, likely saving it for Leo. No bitterness, no anger, just a girl carrying the weight of the world without complaining. Jason's heart ached. He didn't know her personally, but she reminded him of his grandmother, resilient, silent, and proud. He walked away quietly, but the gears were turning. She has no idea, he thought, but everything is about to turn around. The next morning, Lily woke up before the sun. She ironed Leo's school uniform, packed his bag, and hugged him. "Learn something new today, okay?" Leo grinned. "You too, Lil." Lily took the subway to the Apex Center, wearing her oversized spare uniform. The stained one was soaking in a tub of bleach at home. When she opened her locker, she froze. Inside was a glossy gift bag. It held a pair of premium leather gloves, a thermos of hot cocoa, and a handwritten card. "For the one who keeps the world bright, even when it rains." Lily blinked. She looked down the hallway, but it was empty. She unscrewed the thermos. It was steaming hot chocolate. She hadn't had a treat like this in months. She had no clue who the benefactor was, but for the first time in weeks, a genuine smile touched her lips. 30 floors up, Jason watched the security feed on his private monitor. He saw her smile and leaned back in his leather chair. "Step 1, he whispered. Meanwhile, Serena was on a live stream, bragging about her new jewelry collection. The comments praised her style, and she soaked it up like sunlight. But the second the camera cut, Serena barked at her team. "My water is room temperature. Get out of my face." That was Serena's reality. Shiny on the outside, rotten on the inside. But the tides were turning. That evening, Jason made a phone call. "Promote her," he told the building services director. "Find a reason. Do it quietly." The director stammered. "She's just part of the cleaning crew, sir." Jason's voice dropped an octave. "She is an asset. Make it happen." Lily was polishing the brass railings in the lobby when Mrs. Higgins waved her over. "Lily Harper," she said, checking her tablet. Lily braced herself for a scolding. "Yes, ma'am?" "You've been reassigned to the executive suites on the top floor, starting now. Higher hourly rate, lighter workload." Lily's mouth fell open. "Mrs. Higgins, are you serious? I didn't ask for a transfer." "Headquarters approved it," she clipped. "Don't make me regret it." Lily stammered a thank you. As she walked away, the gossip started. "Top floor? Her? Who is she sleeping with?" "She must have dirt on someone." Lily heard the whispers but kept walking. She didn't understand the sudden luck, but she felt a flicker of hope. She told Leo that night, and they celebrated with a pizza. "See? Hard work pays off," she told him. Meanwhile, Jason kept watching from the periphery. He spent more time in the lobby now, always dressed like a freelancer or a tech worker. He observed her attention to detail, how she held the elevator for others, how she greeted everyone. That same night, a courier delivered a thick envelope to Serena's penthouse. Inside was a high-resolution photo. It showed her yellow sports car splashing a pedestrian. A typed note read, "Character is what you do when no one is watching." Serena scowled. "Is this blackmail?" She shredded the photo, but a knot formed in her stomach. For the first time, she felt exposed. Back at the office, Lily found another note in her cart. "Keep your head up. You are seen." She tucked it into her pocket, confused but touched. Lily stepped onto the executive floor. The air was cooler, scented with sandalwood. The carpets were plush. She worked quietly, trying to be invisible. A man was sitting in the lounge area, reading a financial newspaper. It was Jason, again in jeans and a sweater. He watched her work. Finally, he stood up. "Pardon me," he said. "Do you know where the conference room B is?" Lily turned, smiling warmly. "Yes, sir. Just down that hall. Second door on the left." "I'll walk with you," he said. "How long have you been here?" 2 years, she answered. "It's hard work, but I'm grateful for it." "Do you like it?" She paused. "I don't know if anyone loves scrubbing floors, but it puts food on the table. I take pride in doing it well." He stopped. "You do more than that," he said gently. "You bring dignity to it." Lily laughed softly. "That's a nice way to put it." Jason didn't introduce himself. He just watched her go back to work. Later, Serena sat with her father at an exclusive bistro, looking rattled. "I think someone is stalking me," she hissed. "First the photo, now bad comments online." "Maybe," her father said, checking his watch. "Someone is just keeping score." Serena rolled her eyes. "I haven't done anything wrong." But the memory of the splashing water haunted her. At the Apex Center, the jealousy was boiling over. Brenda, a supervisor who had been there for a decade, was furious. She's been for just 2 years and gets the top floor? She's playing games, Brenda muttered in the break room. The next day, Jason requested Lily specifically for his private boardroom. When she entered, he was sitting there. "No cleaning today," he said. "I just wanted to thank you for helping me find the room yesterday." Lily smiled. "Just doing my job." "What's your dream, Lily?" he asked suddenly. "I'd love to be a nurse," she admitted. "Helping people heal. But tuition is, well, it's a lot. Right now, I just need to make sure my brother finishes school." Jason nodded, filing the information away. Later that afternoon, Brenda snuck into the hallway where Lily had just mopped. She swapped Lily's mild floor cleaner for a bottle of industrial wax oil. 10 minutes later, a visiting investor slipped and fell hard. "Who mopped this?" he roared. Lily was summoned to the office. "You used the wrong chemical. You could have killed him," Mrs. Higgins yelled. "I didn't. I swear," Lily cried, her hands shaking. "I used the standard solution." "You're fired," Mrs. Higgins said. "Pack your things." Lily left the office, tears streaming down her face. From the hallway, Jason watched. "She doesn't know I'm her safety net," he thought, "but she's about to find out." He marched into the security room. "Pull the tape from the 40th floor, now." The footage was clear. Brenda switching the bottles. Jason stormed into Mrs. Higgins' office. "Lily stays. Brenda goes. And apologize to Ms. Harper immediately." The staff was stunned. The owner never got involved in personnel issues. Lily was reinstated within the hour. Brenda was escorted out by security. That evening, Serena checked her phone. A viral video was trending. Rich girl splashes, poor worker, and laughs. It had millions of views. Her sponsors were dropping her. "Fix this," she screamed at Marco. "I don't care how." But at the Apex Center, the atmosphere had shifted. Lily was treated with respect. Jason returned to the lobby that afternoon. He wasn't in a hoodie this time. He wore a tailored Italian suit. He approached Lily near the fountain. "You again?" she teased lightly. "You spend a lot of time here." "I like to keep an eye on my investments," he replied with a grin. Lily tilted her head. "You're not just a visitor, are you?" He extended a hand. "Jason Blackwood. I own the building." Lily dropped her rag. You're the Blackwood?" "I'm just Jason," he said warmly, "and I've been watching. Not to spy, but to learn." Lily blushed. "You saw the car? The mud?" "I saw a woman who refused to let the world break her," he corrected, "and I couldn't let that go unnoticed." Lily looked at him, speechless. "You don't have to say anything," Jason said. "Just know that good people are watching." That night, Lily walked home with a light step. Her heart pounded, not from anxiety, but from possibility. For the first time, she realized she wasn't invisible. A billionaire had looked at a janitor and seen a human being, but a part of her worried this was a fragile dream that would shatter. The next day, as she walked to the subway, a sleek yellow sports car slowed beside her. She looked up and tensed. It was Serena. The window slid down, revealing a forced, thin smile. "You're Lily, right?" Lily stepped back cautiously. "Yes?" "You've caused quite the drama," Serena said, her oversized shades hiding her eyes. "Now the internet thinks I'm some sort of villain." Lily's brow furrowed. "I didn't do anything to you." Serena leaned over the passenger seat. "You didn't have to. Playing the victim is a powerful move." "I never wanted pity," Lily said, her voice steady. "I just wanted to do my job." Serena laughed, a sharp, bitter sound. "You think Jason actually cares? He's a billionaire. He collects trophies. He'll get bored. Don't let the 15 minutes of fame go to your head, sweetie." With that, she revved the engine and sped off. Lily stood there, shaken. But she didn't crumble. At the Apex Center, Jason was waiting in the Atrium Cafe. He had arranged a meeting. When Lily arrived during her break, he signaled for her to sit. "What is this?" she asked, eyeing a thick envelope on the table. "Tuition," he said simply. "Full ride to the nursing program at the City University. Books, lab fees, everything covered. Starts next semester. You can keep your shift here on weekends if you want, or focus entirely on school." Lily's hands trembled as she touched the paper. "Why? Why are you doing this for me?" "Because you never asked for a handout," he said softly. "But you deserve a hand up." Tears welled in her eyes. From a distance, Serena watched, unnoticed. The dirty water she had splashed hadn't just ruined a uniform, it had watered a seed. And now, the janitor she mocked was growing taller than she ever could. That evening, Lily sat on the terrace garden of the building, holding the acceptance letter. The city skyline glowed purple and gold below her, but her spirit was brighter. She thought of her parents and the struggle to keep a roof over Leo's head. All the nights she skipped dinner so he could eat. All the days her feet bled from walking. It finally felt worth it. Jason joined her, 2 paper cups of tea in hand. "You're quiet," he said, handing her one. "I'm just overwhelmed," she replied. "Is this real life?" He nodded. "You earned this, Lily, every penny of it." She smiled weakly. "I used to think people in your world didn't see people in mine." "I didn't always," Jason admitted, looking out at the city. "But watching you reminded me of my grandmother. She was a cleaner, too. Immigrant, raised 3 kids on minimum wage. Never complained once. You have that same steel in your spine." Lily looked at him in surprise. "You never talk about her in interviews." "Because shareholders want to hear that I'm a self-made genius," he said with a wry smile. "But the truth is, women like you are the architects of the world." The next day, the Apex Center announced Lily's scholarship in the internal newsletter. Applause broke out in the break room. Even the staff who had been cold to her patted her on the back. Lily's quiet dignity had finally commanded respect. But not everyone was celebrating. Serena stormed into her father's glass-walled office at the tech firm, her heels clicking aggressively against the floor. Her face was twisted in anger. "Why is she everywhere?" she snapped. "She's just a janitor. Jason ignored me for years, and now he's treating her like she's royalty." Her father looked up from his desk, removing his glasses. His tone was calm but icy. "Because she earned it, Serena. The respect, the recognition, all of it." He paused, locking eyes with her. "And you? You still have a lot of growing up to do." For the first time in her life, Serena was silenced. That evening, Jason walked Lily home. The streetlights cast a warm amber glow. They talked about books and the future as they walked side by side. When they reached her apartment block, the heavy metal door creaked open. A young boy with messy hair stepped out. "Leo," Lily said brightly. "What are you doing out here?" "I was waiting for you," Leo said, hugging her waist. Then he looked up at the tall man in the suit. "Is he your boyfriend?" Lily blushed. "Leo!" Jason crouched down to eye level and smiled. "Hi, Leo. I'm Jason. I'm a friend." "I've heard you're helping my sister," the boy said seriously. "Thanks." Lily pulled her brother close. "He's my reason for everything," she whispered. Jason looked at them, a brother and sister against the world. It tugged at a heartstring he thought he had buried. After a moment, Leo ran back inside, and Lily walked Jason to the curb. They stood in the quiet night. Jason looked at her with a soft expression. "Lily," he said, "this started with a splash of mud, but maybe it ends with something beautiful." Lily's heart hammered in her chest. She looked up at him. "Maybe," she whispered, "it's just the beginning." Lily's story began to spread beyond the building. A popular city blog titled the article, "From Mops to Medicine, the Janitor Who Inspired a Tycoon." It went viral. Comments poured in. "Finally, a real role model. She deserves the world. This is what class looks like." Lily was stunned. She hadn't asked to be famous. She just wanted a chance. But now the city was rooting for her. At school, she thrived. She was top of her anatomy class within weeks. Jason visited often, always respectful, always supportive. But the chemistry was undeniable. He was falling for her. Serena couldn't handle it. She paid a shady gossip site to run a hit piece. The headline read, "The Gold Digger Janitor, How She Planned It All." It claimed Lily staged the accident to trap a billionaire. Lily read it on her phone between classes and felt her stomach drop. Students whispered as she walked down the hall. She packed her bag and left early, feeling the old shame creeping back. But Jason wasn't staying silent. He called a press briefing the very next morning. Standing before a wall of microphones, he spoke with deadly precision. "Lily Harper is not a manipulator. She is the most hardworking, honest person I have ever met. Anyone who believes these lies needs to check their own moral compass. I value integrity over inheritance, and she has more integrity in her little finger than her accusers have in their entire bank accounts." The crowd erupted in applause. Lily, watching on her laptop at home, covered her mouth, tears streaming down her face. Later that evening, a courier arrived. A single white orchid and a note. "Let them talk. I know the truth." Jason. She wasn't just being seen. She was being defended. The scholarship, the job, the public defense. It felt like a dream she was afraid to wake up from. But it was her new reality. Meanwhile, Serena's world was imploding. The IP address for the fake article was traced back to her personal computer. Her father was apoplectic. You didn't just hurt her, you embarrassed this family. He cut off her trust fund and removed her from the company board. Until you learn what respect means, you're on your own, he said coldly. Serena stood in the middle of her penthouse, stunned. No unlimited credit cards, no assistance, no power, just silence. Back at the Apex Center, Jason invited Lily to dinner. Not as a boss, not as a mentor, but as a man captivated by a woman. He picked her up in a vintage sedan. Classic, understated, no chauffeur. They ate on the patio of a quiet riverside bistro. You grounded me, Lily, he said, swirling his wine. You reminded me of what actually matters. Lily looked down, blushing. I still don't know why you picked me. Jason reached across the table and took her hand. Because in a world full of noise, your dignity was the loudest thing in the room, and I heard you. They sat in comfortable silence, the kind that feels like home. As they walked back to the car, Jason stopped at the exact intersection where it happened. This is where the car hit the pothole, he said. But look at you now. Lily smiled. She splashed mud on me, but you helped me wash it off. No, he corrected gently. You washed it off yourself. I just held the towel. Neither of them said more. The moment didn't need words. 1 year later, the Apex Center held its annual charity gala. The ballroom was draped in silk and crystals. The city's elite were all there. Lily walked in wearing a deep emerald gown. No diamonds, no flash. Just her, glowing with health and confidence. Guests turned. Whispers rippled through the room, not of judgment, but of admiration. She wasn't the cleaning girl tonight. She was the guest of honor. Jason stood beside her, beaming. He hadn't proposed yet, but the way he looked at her told the whole story. He was hers. Lily was called to the stage. The director handed her a glass plaque for resilience and true dignity. She took a breath and adjusted the microphone. A year ago, I was invisible. I was just a uniform to be splashed with mud. The room felt deadly silent. I don't stand here because of luck. I stand here because I refused to stay down, because someone saw me when I couldn't see myself. She locked eyes with Jason. And because true worth isn't about what you wear, but how you walk when things get messy. Tears glistened in the eyes of the audience. The service staff at the back of the room stood a little taller, smiling proudly. Later that night, as the gala wound down, Lily returned to the street corner outside. The pothole had been filled. The road was smooth. She slipped off her heels and stood barefoot on the pavement. Jason watched, amused. What are you doing? Lily paused, feeling the cool concrete where she once stood, shivering and covered in mud. Leaving the last trace of the victim behind, she said, and stepping fully into who I am. Without a word, Jason unlaced his dress shoes. He stepped onto the pavement beside her, barefoot, equal. Together, they walked forward into the night, slowly, silently. Not just two people in love, but proof that even when life throws dirt at you, you can use it to build a mountain. And sometimes the view from that mountain is beautiful enough to make the whole world stop and stare. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring tales.